Hard to say whether fans have traveled the 1,000 miles from Pittsburgh to Tampa or whether Paul Skeens fans are just everywhere. He is one of the biggest names in all of baseball. He will be taking the mound for the Pirates today, looking to snap their losing streak as they take on the 4-1 Tampa Rays at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Alongside Bob Walken, filling in for Joe Block today, I'm Rob King. Thanks very much for being with us as we get you ready for today's game. The Buccos looking to get things going here, go back to Pittsburgh on the winning ways, and they're hoping that Paul Skeens is the guy that can do that for them.
Absolutely. If you ever needed a guy like Skeens, or no, just Skeens, not a guy like him, on the mound for us, it's going to be this afternoon. You know, there's no getting around it. Our offense has not been putting up runs lately, and we need somebody to go out there and just dominate. And if you need a dominator, that's going to be Skeens. He can do it so many different ways. Power fastball, the splitter. I mean, he's got all the tools. Just need him to stay out there maybe a little longer than he did opening day. You know, give us 6 innings, maybe even 7, like he did the last time he faced these guys.
Yep, and in 2 starts against the American League, 2-0, an ERA of 2, 9 walks, 32 strikeouts for Paul Skeens. The Pirates looking to their young ace to try to snap this losing streak before they head back home for the home opener Friday in Pittsburgh. Still to come, he has been steady as he goes. IKF at shortstop. We're going to talk about him. He's been supplying some offense for the Bucs and what he could mean to today's game when we resume.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe
Back at George Steinbrenner Field, getting ready for the Pirates and Rays, concluding the 3-game series between these two teams. Pirates are looking for offense. They've been getting some from Isiah Kiner-Falefa. Bob at the bottom of the order, batting .333, stolen 3 bases. He's been the one sort of consistent guy in that lineup for the Bucs.
Yeah, you know, I think it can be an overused phrase, the professional at bat, but that's what I see from him. And I think what that means to me is he hits according to game situations. He'll move the runner. He'll commit to hitting the ball the other side if that's what the game calls for. He's always going to look and see where the third baseman's playing, see if I can drop down a bunt or something like that. And there's no panic either. If he gets to 2 strikes, he's not up there just wildly swinging. I mean, he knows how to be a good 2-strike hitter, and that's, I think, what he brings to the plate on a very consistent basis.
Well, Isiah Kiner-Falefa and the rest of the Pirates lineup will have their hands full with that guy, Ryan Pepiot. He came over from the Dodgers as kind of the key guy in the Tyler Glasnow trade, and he has lived up to the billing. He's been phenomenal. Another talented guy the Pirates are going to have to face.
Yeah, their starting rotation here with the Rays extremely impressive. You know, you look, you know, what he did against us last year. He was a little wild. Hopefully, we'll see something like that this afternoon. Maybe he helps us out a little bit. But we got to hit better when we want to get runners in scoring.
You see that one walk? It's the only walk a Rays starting giving up all year.
Yeah.
36 strikeouts and 1 walk. The staff has been on fire, but they're going to be facing, the Rays are Paul Skeens, who again started on opening day looking to snap this 4-game losing streak for the Bucks. First pitch between the Rays and the Pirates coming your way next on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Pirates Baseball is presented by Your Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh, and by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. By Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. And by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, service you can see, experts you can trust. Rays have taken the field. Before we get to setting the scene here, let's set the scene with the ballpark as Pepiot is getting ready to warm up. Have you seen any differences here of this park, Bob, playing any different than a major league park?
No, not really. I think that the lights maybe the only really difference that I can see, and it hasn't been that big of a deal.
Well, let's take a look at the Pirates lineup that's going to be facing Ryan Pepiot. Adam Frazier playing second base, followed by Brian Reynolds DHing once again and dealing with a little bit of a tricep issue, so the Pirates are keeping him out of the outfield. Then it's Cruz, Pham, Sawinski, Hayes, Endy Rodriguez will be catching, Jared Triolo at first base, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa playing shortstop for the Pirates. And this lineup just needs to start producing more offensively here for the team.
There's Pepiot's numbers you were just talking about. What a great job he has done, and he certainly gave him a fine start on their opening day. Struck out 8 in his six innings of work. Their whole rotation they're going to be tough, and I think this ballpark's probably going to play a little small during the summer.
Right.
So they're going to need a lot of good pitching.
And they'll get their ace back, Shane McClanahan, at some point. Here's the defense around him. Rortvedt will complete the battery with Pepiot. Then it's Aranda, Lau, Walls, and Caminero in the infield. Mangum, what a story he's been. DeLuca and Caballero out in right field. Mangum, holy mackerel, coming up and doing things that we haven't seen in baseball in 125 years, which we'll talk about when he gets to the plate. First, Adam Frazier, first pitch of the game. And he takes up high. Be nice to get something going here early, Bob. Get a little pressure on Pepiot, maybe get an early lead. Here's Frazier with a fly ball out to center field, and that will be an easy out for out number 1. And let's go down to Hannah Mears. A little more clarity on the injury situation for Bryan Reynolds. Hannah.
Yeah, Rob, after speaking with Pirates Director of Sports Medicine, Todd Tomczyk, today, he mentioned Bryan Reynolds has been dealing with a little bit of right tricep soreness. That's why we're seeing him in that DH role, as you mentioned. He's been able to hit, been able to play, but he's having that soreness when he's throwing. So they're taking the necessary steps, learning as much as they can, as fast as they can, to see when he can be a full complementary player.
Hannah, thanks very much. And of course, because of that, that means Andrew McCutchen, who has been the team's DH, available for pinch hitting duty, as we saw last night, but not expected to be out in the field much. He can play a little bit of outfield, Bob, but I think they want to keep him off his feet too.
Yeah, I mean, playing out in the outfield a couple of days here and there, I don't think it would be bad for him at all. And we might end up seeing that depending on how long Reynolds can't go out there.
Fouls this one back.
Back to your original thought about trying to get something going here at first. That would be fantastic to put the other team in a situation where they got to play catch up against Skeens.
Right.
Now they're behind the 8 ball. That's exactly what we'd like to do.
Pepio the 1-2. And this is grounded to first and take it himself. And that will be 2 outs now. Aranda took that soft grounder, so 2 up, 2 down. And of course, we can say, let's get off to a fast start, but as you mentioned, this Rays pitching staff it's hard to know what's better, their rotation or their bullpen, because they're both stacked.
You want to get off to a fast start every night.
Right, sure.
Every day. But, I'm just saying it would be really nice to do that because of the losing streak. Because you have Skeens out there.
Yeah. Rarely, if ever, as a manager said, okay, boys, let's hold it back to the 4th inning, right? You'd like to get off to a good start.
Yeah, 4th inning, let's make our move.
Right, yeah, it's seldom, if ever, said in baseball history. Cruz now finds himself in an 0-2 hole. He'll step out.
Well, there's this, kind of a crazy stat. I don't understand why it's true, but teams in baseball that score first are much more likely to win the ball game than otherwise.
Cruz just got a piece of that. Some of the Rays wandering off the field. They thought perhaps that was strike 3, but Cruz will get at least one more hack at Pepio, trying to conclude an efficient first inning with his 10th pitch.
I remember that one year that Jay Bell, who was batting second for the Pirates, he led the league in sacrifice bunts.
Cruz lines out to left field. It's going to drop in safely. So the single for Oneil Cruz, who will slowly round first and come up with a first base hit for the Pirates in the game.
But the reason for that was that Leland, the Pirates, wanted to put even a run up in that first inning to have that lead.
Right.
So
when you have the good staff, well, now you got to score 2 to beat us. Right. And we got Drabek or whoever out there, Smiley or somebody like that. Tommy Pham looking to get on track here for the Buccos.
If you sacrifice somebody, you get a runner in scoring position, 1 out. The next 3 hitters are Van Slyke, Benny, and Bond.
Right. Yeah.
So you were probably going to get a run out of that inning. You'd like to think you would. So
Cruz running, and Cruz is going to be safe at second base. Another stolen base for Oneil Cruz.
Might have had a chance if they would have taken that throw a little deeper.
Well, let's look at it.
It looks like,
short hop it a little bit?
Yeah, it looks like the throw was taken out front toward home and then had to reach way back, because Cruz always goes for that back corner. So now you got to reach a long way and you just can't touch him. Like if you take the throw pretty much over the bag, then your tag is just going to go straight down. It's not going to go, having to do a 180 turn.
So Pham now has Cruz in scoring position, looking for a hit that'll give the Buccos an early lead in this game.
Exactly what we're talking about really for the last few days, is hitting with runners in scoring position. That is not a good number so far for us.
And it is time for our Pennsylvania Western University stat of the day. And Oneil Cruz leading baseball. 6 stolen bases so far in the early going. That's been one positive for the Pirates. They've been running, but as you mentioned earlier, they just have not been getting those hits with runners in scoring position.
And nobody's stealing home.
No.
Not yet.
No. Pham will take that one. He thought it was out of the strike zone, but called the strike. And so now a full count pitch. 2 outs here in the first. Ball 4. So Pepiot, now the only Rays starter to walk anybody in the first 5 games, and now he's walked 2. And you know, we saw that graphic earlier, Bob. He's had bouts of wildness. And now 2 aboard. Let's see if Jack Suwinski can do some damage here at the plate.
Jack with a great spring training. And even the first couple of games in Miami seemed to get off to a pretty darn good start. He was making a lot of hard contact even when he wasn't getting hits, but it's kind of tailed off lately. Of course, with not very many at bats, that batting average doesn't really mean a lot. It goes up and down. Big swings this time of year.
Well, we were talking about that in the postgame show that I think it was 1 for 4, 1 for 5, but everything was hit hard in that first game. That, you know, but again, look at the pitching he's faced here in Tampa and the Pirates have faced in Tampa. That's not going to be good for the average either. 2-0 now. Good hitters count. Pepiot able to find the inside corner, 95 miles an hour. Jack swings through, 2-1 now. Good life at the bottom of the zone, it looked like there in that pitch, Bob.
Yeah, Jack has not swung and missed a lot of pitches in the month of March. But here in Tampa, we're starting to see that again. Remember, that was the big problem last year.
Absolutely.
The swings and misses, no contact.
2-2 and a high chopper, and Pepiot is going to take it, and they're going to say it is a foul ball. Foul ball, so Jack would have been out at first. Pepiot was charging over there and trying to beat it to foul territory, and
I think he's trying to tell the home plate umpires it's fair territory. And the home plate umpire is telling him it doesn't matter where you're at. Like he's a wide receiver. How can he not know the rule? Where the ball is, not where you're standing.
You don't have to tap 2 toes to stay in bounds.
If you reach across that white line,
right,
it's a foul ball.
So 2-2 count. Suwinski will get another crack at it here. And Pepiot gets him as he goes off speed, and the Pirates will conclude the top of the first without scoring a run. Paul Skeens coming up next. Back at George M. Steinbrenner Field, Paul Skeens concluding his warm-up pitches as he gets ready to face the Rays lineup in the bottom of the first inning. And that lineup is Yandy Diaz DHing once again. Then Lau Mangum has been an incredible story. Caminero Aranda, who swung a hot bat. Caballero, a hot bat. Then it's Walls, Rortvedt, and Johnny DeLuca, who's off to a good start out in center field, all facing Paul Skeens in this game. Diaz, much like last night, comes out hacking at the first pitch.
Take a look at Skeens' numbers, brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just that one start, 5 1/3. Love to see him get at least 6 this afternoon.
Little dribbler foul, and Diaz rather rudely jumped on an early Paul Skeens pitch June 23rd of last year and hit it just off of the foul pole over the Clemente wall in right field at PNC Park. And now chops this weekly. Ke'Bryan Hayes across the diamond. Plenty of time as the first out is recorded on the weak ground ball. And let's take a look at the Pirates defense in this game, brought to you by Levin Furniture and Mattress. And Andy Rodriguez will do the catching of Paul Skeens. Triolo, Frazier, IKF, and Hayes around the infield defense. That should be a very good defensive infield. Pham, Cruz, and Sawinski ranging in the outfield here at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Brandon Lau up at the plate. Lau has begun the season with a 5-game hitting streak that has been exceeded only by Evan Longoria and Carlos Pena in Rays team history at the beginning of the season, we should say. 100 miles an hour. And the 1-1.
Their starting pitcher yesterday, Claus, he was hitting 100 quite a few times there, all the way to his last inning. Very impressive. Skeens will be doing that. It's warm, real warm afternoon.
99 on that one, but up out of the strike zone, so a 3-1 count now.
You can always tell when
Brandon Lau
Skeens doesn't like a pitch. He doesn't want the ball. He'll turn his back and make whoever's catching to hold on to it for a moment.
This one lined out to center field, but Cruz is there, and 2 quick outs. And that brings up Jake Mangum, 29-year-old rookie. What a story he's been as we look at Kevin Cash, the Rays manager. They bring up Mangum after an injury to Josh Lowe, and after one game has 6 straight hits, 7 for 8 in the last 2 games, 3 stolen bases. He has been an incredible story. 29-year-old rookie. He slaps this one through the hole on the left side, continues to hit.
One of the crazy things that in this, what he's been doing, is that he turned that basically a chopper just barely to the left of the mound into a base hit. Ran a 4 flat down the line.
Well, he's the first player since Frank Dillon in 1901 to have 7 or more hits and 3 or more stolen bases in his first 3 games. You have to go back to 1901. And I mention that because he's a threat on the base paths now. At first base, ooh, good off-speed offering from Skeens. He gets Junior Caminero out in front. By the way, it's Caminero who's got the 5-game hitting streak. I beg your pardon, not Lau. The 0-1 offering. Did not swing on the appeal. Trip Gibson, the home plate umpire. So it's 1-1. Grounded to Ke'Bryan Hayes, and Hayes will go across the diamond. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning as we head to the top of the 2nd, scoreless in Tampa. Good to see some Pirate fans here in Tampa, and a reminder for Pirates fans everywhere, you can stream every out-of-market game live or on demand, plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. And Ke'Bryan Hayes slashes one into the gap, diving attempt, fails, and Ke'Bryan will round second and head for third with a leadoff triple here in the top of the second.
And now we are in business to take that lead we've been talking about. A little bit of a gamble with the dive, but it was very close. I think he probably missed it by maybe, what, 8 inches, something like that. But once it gets by him, I mean, it's going to be a triple, no contest. There's nobody backing him up.
Oh, my. Endy Rodriguez hits it hard, but a good scoop down there. Yandy Diaz, normally the first baseman, they've had him DHing a lot, trying to keep him healthy, and Aranda with a nice scoop on a hard hit ball.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely smoked, and it bounced too, right there on the kind of the border between the dirt and the grass. So you're never really sure what kind of a hop you're going to get with that. But it was hit so hard, you're not really thinking about it either. That's just pure reaction.
Infield remains in as Jared Triolo's up now. Takes ball 1 in the dirt. And Endy hit the ball hard a couple of times this series. Got his first hit.
Yeah, he'll come around. I mean, he's been just such a talented hitter his entire minor league career. And then he gets up to the big leagues and has the major injury.
Right.
Lost the entire year last year. So there could be, a little bit of a difference, at least early on in his hitting, as he gets used to hitting major league pitching.
3-0 now, Triolo. It's one thing to have a guy spending some time in the minors, but the Pirates have lost developmental years for O'Neill Cruz and Endy Rodriguez, two guys that you lose your 1 year longer before you're maybe getting your prime, Bob?
Yep.
And a 4-pitch walk to Jared Triolo. I don't know if he was trying to work around him. We mentioned Pepio can have some bouts of wildness, but either way, it'll be runners on the corners now.
And I like it when Falefa plays or hits in these situations right here, these game situational at bats.
Right. Yeah, he's one of those, just seems like I don't call him throwback, but an old school player. We saw him a couple of times now, on ground balls with runners on first and second that have taken him to his right, going to Ke'Bryan Hayes at third base. A lot of guys maybe don't think about that kind of thing, and the stolen bases.
Okay, he's got a third baseman that thinks about that sort of thing. Third baseman,
right.
They'll take a couple of steps to the left because that's where the ball was hit, and now they're done. They can't get back.
Right.
And the shortstop now got one play, try to throw it across. But both of them worked very well like that.
Tremendous baseball IQ for both guys on the left side of the diamond there. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now here, to be honest with you, I'll be very surprised if he doesn't just try and hit the ball the other way. Best way to stay out of a double play. If it's a ground ball, it's going to be a base hit. If it's a fly ball, you're going to have a sac fly. Well, that would have been a good pitch to go the other way with.
Yep.
Right on the outside half. Good strike. Kind of the corner.
The 0-1, Triolo a good runner at first base. Hayes at third. Ooh. Finds the outside corner again, now 0-2. Back through the box, and now Hayes is going to be hung up between first and third. And they're going to run him back to third base. Good job there, so no advancing behind the play. By getting Hayes back to third, Triolo's got to stay at second. IKF's got to stay at first, and now that leadoff triple beginning to slip away. It's going to be up to the bat of Adam Frazier now.
Well, that's, basically what he had to do. He had to come down and try to get into a rundown long enough for Triolo to get to third. That's his job there. He can't just stand on the bag and watch them maybe turn a double play and then jog to the dugout.
Right.
So he's got to draw that throw and then just try and stay in the rundown, stay out of the double play. I don't know if that was a double play ball or not, but you still have to. You can't let him. A lot of times that one hopper, that ball right back to the pitcher, they're going to turn it
right.
Double play.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And especially with the way we saw the defense shifted, the PitchCom has gone away. They got to bring that back and get it resituated. But especially the way that they were set up defensively, the second baseman was right behind second base.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wonder
even if he would have missed it, that would have been a ground ball.
Right.
Double play. You have to go home.
Right.
I mean, now don't run into an out at the plate. And he didn't. He did everything perfect. Hayes did. That's by the book. He got down there. He got in a rundown. They just executed the rundown before Triolo could get to third. Actually, it was a good execution by both clubs.
sides. That's
they
exactly
did what they're supposed to do.
Exactly right. The only question, I guess, is should Pepiot try to turn two?
Well, that goes back to like what I don't know if he could have turned two on.
Right.
So I think there was probably a little doubt in his mind. I mean, how many times do you see the pitcher, the second, the third get messed up?
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've always been puzzled by that because a pitcher's job is to throw the ball accurately over the plate, but for some reason turning around and throwing that ball to second seems to be a problem.
I finally figured it out off a number of years, how I was able to do it, and I never messed up that throw again. And the key is what you just said.
Oh, nice. Adam Frazier, base hit to right field. Triolo around third and head to the plate. So again, Key Brian Hayes maybe give him a little bit of an assist there. Adam Frazier give him the RBI single, and the Pirates have an early 1-0 lead.
That's key right there. That's not only hitting with runners in scoring position. That's a 2-out hit with runners in scoring position. Big.
Crack of the bat.
Nicely done. Back to what we talked about. The key was when you said throw it over the plate. You don't throw to the shortstop or the second baseman.
Oh, well hit, but right to the shortstop in the third out of the inning. The Pirates are able to score a run. We'll talk about that when we return with the Bucks up 1-0.
Saturday in Miami, Paul Skeens went viral on social media with this heartwarming video playing catch with a young baseball fan. I asked Paul about this moment, and he said it was really cool because the kid wasn't really asking for anything. He just wanted to play catch. And besides, he said he had to get his throwing program in anyway. He told me that it was fun for him, though, too, because that's the next generation of baseball players. And he remembers being that kid, but also said he himself never got to play catch with a big leaguer like that. So it was really cool for him, but the only thing Paul might have changed about that moment was getting the kid a Pirates jersey as he was wearing Cubs gear. But I said, hey, Paul, you pitched a bunch of games in Chicago last year, so I'm sure he saw what you did there. And with a quick smirk, he said, yeah, I like pitching in Chicago, I'll say that, as he recorded 17 strikeouts in 2 games pitching at Wrigley Field. But this is the type of the stuff in the big leagues, Rob, that Paul admitted you never know when moments like that present themselves, but this is the stuff he would love to do every day.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. Great job, Hannah. I know talking to Paul Skeens earlier, digging up that video, pretty cool, you know. He just seems like a young man that sort of gets the whole big picture. And he understands his importance and his place in the game.
Kind of taking a page out of McCutcheon's book there.
Yeah, that's right. Giving the gloves to the kids, remember that? Yeah, that was tremendous.
The 2 kids in San Diego that time.
Right, exactly.
They're just, he is really, really great. That, in fact, last night after the tough loss, everybody's out of the dugout. They're all heading into the clubhouse. You get the shot of the empty dugout, except one guy, Kutch. He's standing down there in the corner signing balls for a couple little kids.
No, that's great stuff. 2-2 here, and Aranda's able to get a piece of it and foul it off. And here's what Bob was talking about last night.
See? Everybody's inside, kind of cleaning things up a little bit. Kutch stayed there, signing baseballs for Pirate fans.
Really good story last year when he hit that historic home run in Philadelphia. Get to that in a minute. 2-2 pitch. And Aranda, did he go? He did not. On appeal, 3-2. But a young man named Torin Mehta caught the ball, and Kutch met him after the game, and then Kutch learned that he was quite ill, and then it, brought him back and gave him his gloves and gave him a plaque. And Bob Nutting stepped up, had the family come to a game at PNC Park for Philadelphia. It was just a wonderful story, but great to see that Kutch and Paul Skeens, as Hannah reported, doing those really cool things. Another payoff pitch to Aranda. Just pokes it out to left field, and it's going to carry out there, and Pham makes the grab. 1 away here in the bottom of the second.
Another thing, and then I'll quit talking about it, but we show and talk about like 1% of what they actually.
Right.
I mean, I can come up with a lot of stories that nobody knows about, things that he's come and met kids for me that are friends that the kids have, they're ill, and he'll come out and bring them a bat or a ball out of the clubhouse and talk to them for a couple of minutes, and it means the world to them. And
talking about Andrew in specific.
Yeah, he doesn't say no to any of that stuff ever.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike. Jose Caballero, right fielder at the plate. He's batting .500 on the season. Skeens trying to tug down some of these lofty Rays batting averages over the next couple of days. That one's in the dirt. 2-1. Outside, it'll be 3-1 now. Bob, with the early heat, the fact that the guys are in spring training, that could be a factor at all. Temperatures expected to get up to 90 degrees today. Could that be a factor in this game?
It depends on the individual.
Line, but right to IKF, and so 2 outs here in the second.
I mean, as far as being in shape or something like that, no, it won't have a factor. But there's some guys that love it when it's hot like this. They love the heat. They love the the tropical type weather. And mainly, I guess I'm talking about like the pitchers or the catchers. They're the ones that are actually doing, you know, the work out there, working up a sweat. And some guys don't like it. They wouldn't be. They want a low humidity, 62-degree afternoon to pitch in. So,
what did you prefer?
Oh, I wanted the low humidity, 62 degrees
okay.
for sure. I would not have really enjoyed a day like this.
Ground ball, Triolo backhands. He's going to take it himself, and he does. And 1, 2, 3 go the Rays in the second. Back at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Andrew McCutchen and the Pirates getting set to conclude this road series to begin, or road Paris series to begin the 2025 season. And the Yankees and Pirates this weekend, Friday through Sunday. The opening weekend is presented by Giant Eagle. Join us to kick off the 2025 season at PNC Park all weekend long. Get tickets at pirates.com. It'll be a little cooler, I think, in Pittsburgh, Bob, than we're experiencing here in Tampa. Temperatures nearing 90 degrees as Cruz takes that pitch, and it's 1-1 off speed.
The key is the low humidity. Hopefully we'll have low humidity.
I'm not sure that can be promised. Cruz takes 2-1. But you know what April showers bring, Bob.
That's right.
Okay.
Many RBIs.
Cruz grounds to second, and 4-3, he will be retired to begin the third inning.
Definitely wanted to keep him off first base. The way he's been taking the next 90 feet constantly. I mean, he doesn't even wait very long either. The first couple pitches, he goes.
Single and a stolen base for Cruz, his 6th of the year, in case you're just joining us in the first. Now Pham up at the plate. Pirates leading 1-0 on an Adam Frazier 2-out RBI single. Boy, that was a big hit. And when Hayes leads off that inning with a triple, and you get 2 outs, and Frazier able to bring home the run with an RBI single.
A leadoff triple, it's like you've already chalked up. Oh, we got 1 run out of this inning anyway.
Exactly.
So not to get that home would have been really tough, especially the way the offense has been of last few games. It's, you would kind of have a here we go again feeling.
Right.
Frazier saved us of that.
1-2 to Pham, and Pham will foul it back. You know, Steve Blass always talks about, you know, used to say a lot of the offense is struggling. Get one that it's going to clear the air. Get 10 runs, but you have to find something that does get. The guys are human after all. You got to get something that gets like the mental monkey off your back a little bit, you know?
You gotta walk before you can run.
Here's the 1-2.
Play with the lead. Doesn't have to be huge, but let Skeens have 1-2 run cushion. And
that would be nice.
Yeah, he should make it stand up, you would think.
2-2 to Pham is up and in. 3-2 now. Pepio's walked a couple in the early going. And the 3-2 to Pham. Inside, and Pham will draw a walk for the second consecutive at bat. He has 2 of the Pirates' 3 walks, and that'll bring up Jack Suwinski.
Well, we're getting what we wanted. The Pepio on the wild side.
Yep. Traffic on the base paths. The Pirates had a runner in scoring position, O'Neill Cruz, in the first, and he did not score. Did push across a run after the leadoff triple by Hayes. He was retired at home plate, trying to keep the Pirates out of a double play, and Frazier came up with a big hit, and now Pham on the base paths here with 1 out in the 3rd. Pepio checking on Pham, and now will come set. Pham not running. Suwinski swung on and missed. Had a changeup at 86 miles an hour, swung over the top of it. So it's a 1-1 count.
That changeup. Tough on him at first at bat. And there's another one.
Got that good differentiation to about 10 miles an hour difference between the fastball and the changeup. Sometimes we see guys that are a little closer than that.
Yeah, that's in a way kind of a lot for a changeup.
Ooh, gets him again. 3 consecutive changeups, and Suwinski strikes out for the 2nd time in the game. That'll bring up Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Boy, he painted with it too.
It's a beauty. Remember Eric Gagne?
Oh yeah.
My recollection was high 90s and a changeup that was about 20 miles an hour slow, wasn't it? It was a huge difference.
I don't know if it was 20, but it was a lot.
It was a
slower,
huge difference.
Wore them goggles too, didn't he?
Yeah, he had the goggles. That's right. Pham is running. And throw down to second base, and another stolen base for the Buccos. This has been fun to watch, Bob. I've loved this aggression in the base paths.
Yeah, you know, not to take anything away from the stealing, but something that's we saw a ton of down in Miami, and we've seen it here. Catchers aren't throwing very well as far as on target. The first ball, remember how it bounced, and that one there came bouncing in.
Ooh.
And the infielders constantly having to worry about trying to pick a ball out of the dirt before they can even go for a tag.
Right. Well, both of those, especially the Cruz would have been close if that throw was on the bat.
Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of times where if the throw, heck, we had balls going into center field quite a bit down in Miami. If throws had been on target, guys would be out. But the catchers are not putting the ball anywhere really where they can get a tag down.
1-1 to Hayes is outside. The 2-1. And it'll be 3-1. I think it's interesting, you know, we see this, the alignment we have, you know, Lau, the second baseman, almost behind second base. So really one defender for the most part between second base and first base for a guy that likes to go inside out there. Maybe some room on that right side for Ke'Bryan. Not going to be able to do it with that pitch. 95 in the inside corner, and it's a full count now. 3-2, 2 out here. In the top of the third inning, Pirates leading 1-0. The 3-2, and he goes to the opposite field, and is that caught? No, it's going to be a one-hopper, and it's going to be an RBI single for Ke'Bryan Hayes. He strokes it out to right field, and Pham scores. Oh, wait a minute now.
Yeah, they caught it. I don't know why he came up throwing. I don't think he knew how many outs there were.
I saw a lot of white.
He thought that there was one out. That's why he came up throwing.
Okay, all right.
I think he caught it right in the palm of his glove, and that's why you saw the white.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he.
Oh yeah.
See how he caught it right in the palm? That's why there was white there.
That didn't scrape along the ground there. No.
And then he throws to second because he forgot how many outs.
Oh boy. 1-0 Pirates as we head to the bottom of the third. First pitch to Ben Rortvedt, and that is drilled in there by Paul Skeens for a strike. Want to take a quick moment. We're talking about number 22. How about a 22nd birthday? We're talking about Andrew McCutchen, number 22. Caden Anloff, who does some work for us in the studio, and whose dad is one of the, not only phenomenal photographer, one of the great human beings you'd ever want to meet. Works for us. He's on the road trip here, and it's always great to see Brian and his son, Caden, 22 today.
Happy birthday, Caden. I think your dad's starting to wear down a little bit. He's been out here a while. I know I'm wearing down.
Here's the 1-1, and that is just off the plate, 2-1. Right down the pipe at 99 miles an hour. Here's our Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone. When I say right down the pike, what I meant was knee high in the corner.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Well, it's a big pike.
Yeah. And here's the 2-2. Jam shot, straight up in the air. Endy Rodriguez settles underneath it and makes the grab. And we are through 8 batters, and it is time for our Pennsylvania Western University educating you. And here's how we're going to educate you, Bob. This is the first time Skeens has ever gone through 2 innings in a game and not recorded a strikeout.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
That is educating.
So he is only faced 1 over the minimum, but has yet to record his first strikeout as Johnny DeLuca. His 5 for 13 average will ground one to IKF across the diamond, and he gets him. So 2 up, 2 down.
Pitching to contact today. You know, right at the very beginning of the first inning, you were talking about how the defense in the infield is going to be very good today.
Yeah.
I think he heard you.
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, Bob.
Well,
Actually, I'd be rather surprised.
One thing that this does is could keep him in the game for, perhaps an extra inning later on.
Right.
Strikeouts cost you quite a few more pitches than
for sure, and we have seen that
a
with Paul
two-pitch
Skeens.
ground ball out.
Right, and then the 0-2 pitches or 2-2 pitches being fouled off, and that adds to the pitch count. This is just going to be his 36th pitch here, and it's going to be outside, a 1-1 count.
That was a little bit of a difference that I saw that down at the end of spring training, the week I was there. He seemed to get more swings and misses. He was able to put guys away a little bit better. And they weren't fouling off as many balls, driving up the pitch count real high early on.
Well, it is amazing not only how great his stuff is, but how quickly he learns. Here's a grounder up the middle, and that's going to bounce its way through to center field. And so Diaz is aboard with a 2-out hit here in the bottom of the third. Remember the movie The Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that first movie?
Yes.
And like he's a machine, but he's learning as he goes. Like Paul Skeens, I mean, we see the great, awesome stuff, but then he just learns so quickly. It seems like he never makes the same mistake twice. Just learning at the big league level.
I like that, The Terminator.
It's just been so impressive. Brandon Lau flew out to center, his first at bat, and swings through strike one.
I've always liked to call him the big guy because it fits him in so many different ways. One, he literally is a big guy.
Yes,
he's a huge man.
He's a big man.
And the big guy is the guy that you're always like, he's going to take care of everybody and do this and do that. And now he's even publicly said he's going to start taking more of a leadership role in, say, the clubhouse and stuff, which now he wants to be maybe the guy, but the big guy in there too. So he is fitting so many of those things you want out of a Stallion starting pitcher.
He gets his first termination there of Lau to end the third. Welcome to the Toyota RAV, fourth inning. And Pepio facing Endy Rodriguez, who lined out sharply following, it was a one-hopper to first base following the Ke'Bryan Hayes triple. Doesn't get much of this one. A high fly ball over toward the screen and fine catch over there to record the first out by third baseman Junior Caminero. So one away here to begin the fourth.
That's Florida, so we got a strong breeze, and it's going from right to left. It's just pushing this ball further and further toward those seats. and almost made it all the way.
You know, I did wonder, and Jared Triolo steps to the plate here. There's a pitch from Pepiot. We go down to spring training, and you see all kinds of balls. The breeze, the wind affecting. You know, outfielders are looking around for the ball in the sun, and they can't find it, and it's being blown for a home run or being blown where they can't catch it, and it just doesn't feel like we've seen really any of that in the first couple of games here in Tampa.
No, not they've been in night games, so
True.
The wind kind of. Today is like a typical spring training type day. Warm, puffy clouds, wind blowing, not hard but stiff.
Boy, Triolo.
That pop fly right there was the first. When I saw him start moving the way it was, I immediately looked at the flags, and then I go, okay, yeah, we're still in Florida.
Right. The wind blowing right to left. See the shot of Steinbrenner Field. Love that idea by Triolo. Third baseman playing deep. He's got good speed. Tried to lay one down there. Walked in his first at bat, but bunted through that. Now 1-2. And a little fister out to right field. Then it's going to be gathered in there. And so 2 away. You can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com. Anyone in SNP's territory can sign up to watch direct to consumer or log in with your current provider and get direct access to live Pirates games plus all the Pittsburgh sports content that you love. 2 away here. IKF takes high for ball 1. Swings through that, a 1-1 count. You know, one of the stories, the Rays have been an incredible franchise and so competitive in that AL East without a lot of high contracts and not a lot of fan attendance, but looks like another sellout crowd today. All right, 10,000, 11,000 fans. I think they've sold out every game so far.
It's going to be, if they keep playing well and they are in the hunt, how hard will it be to get a ticket to this place?
Right.
And Joe and I talked about this. When they get something going, I mean, it gets loud here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because, you know, if you're in a big place, there's not that 10,000. It's like it's empty. But you get here and they start making noise, and the enthusiasm you can just feel.
You know, reminds me of when they opened up Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh, and people said, well, you should have built a bigger arena. You know, you could have said it's 17,000, 18,000. Well, seats about, I think, about 12,500, something along those lines. And they were good, and it was hard.
Yeah.
Really, really hard to get a ticket. Now, maybe that'll be the same case here with Tarek Brock. That's a leap out of the way of that liner down the line. That's a great point, though. I mean, you know, there's Tarek. He's okay. Get another look at this. Got to move quickly.
Oh, they got him right in the back.
And down the line, and this one stays fair, and IKF going to take a big turn at first. But a nice play out there by Caballero, so he will be held to a single, but good piece of hitting, shooting it down that right field line.
And I would imagine that IKF is going to try and steal second here.
Number 26, Adam Frazier.
Talked about him in the open, 3 stolen bases, continues
There's
to
2
be
outs.
productive at the plate.
So he wants to put himself in a position where if Frazier gets another one of those 2-out singles,
Right.
it's meaningful. So he would love to get down to second as soon as he can.
Not going here. And lifted foul along the third base line and back into the sand. So it'll be 0-1 to Adam Frazier, who had the single that drove in the run, the lone run of the game with 2 outs. Back in the second inning. Here's the 0-1. IKF not running again. Pitches away, and it'll be 1-1. Are there different counts? Now, if you're Pepiot out there, are you breathing a little easier on a certain count or another, or you have to be concerned every count here that he might be running?
I mean, he could run at any time.
There wasn't one in there. The ball was booted and picked up,
wow.
and the throw and wheeling over to get Frazier by a step at first base. Remains 1-0 heading to the bottom of the fourth.
Jake Mangum has been off to a hot start since making his debut on Sunday, but one of the highlights for him this week is playing against his idol, Adam Frazier, who is our second baseman for the Pirates today. Mangum telling me that he looked up to Frazier while he was in high school in Mississippi, and Frazier was going to college at Mississippi State. He called Frazier that guy and that dude. He said everything the team needed, Frazier did, and he feels the two played the game similarly, went on to follow in his footsteps and even break some of his college records. He laughed, reminiscing on a moment in the first game of the series as well, saying he slid into second after stealing a base, and Frazier tried to deke him with the ball. Here's a look at that. And that's why Mangum was laughing so hard. And then Frazier, had to give him a little slap with that glove. But Frazier was the one to throw the ball as well. This is pretty full circle from Mangum's first hit to the Rays dugout. Really cool to see the bond between those two, Rob. And Frazier had nothing but great things to say about Mangum, but did say, hey, maybe we're going to get him today because he has been off to a really hot start.
Well, thank you, Hannah. They didn't get him the first time. He had another base hit. He's the all-time SEC hits leader. Just a guy that had to claw his way up the ladder. Of course, missed a year with COVID, but 29-year-old rookie. Just an incredible story.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that he could be a rookie at 29, looking at the skills he's putting on display.
And good numbers in the minors.
He's fast.
Good story of perseverance. Just a good baseball story. Takes the strike here to go full on the count at 3-2. I'd like to see that story kind of come to a conclusion today without much more happening from Jake Mangum. Bob, maybe just the end of that little tale, put that book aside.
Everybody, even the greatest players in the world, they always have a down day. Maybe today will be his.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's already got a hit.
Yeah, that's true.
And the 3-2. Fouled off. And to clean up a couple things. We're talking about best count to run on from a pitcher's perspective, and you think there's just one thing a pitcher should do?
Yeah, just be quick home. Now, if you're worried about like hit and runs, the best thing you can do is throw strike one and then strike two.
Right.
Because once you get to 2 strikes, now you don't have to ever worry about them doing a hit and run thing. But as far as stealing, if you're worried about somebody actually just a straight steal, and we're talking first to second, just be quick home. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
Be quick home.
Another item to clean up here after Mangum's at bat concludes. He's fouled off a couple at 3-2, so now another payoff pitch. Be pitch number 49 for Paul Skeens. Yeah. gets a second strikeout in a row as Endy Rodriguez hangs on. Again, we talked about the fact he hadn't struck out anybody through 2 innings and now has struck out the last 2. Is nice job by Endy to hang on to this one.
No, maybe because it is a hot day. He's kind of saving himself. He didn't want to work that hard.
Okay. Our AHN Supermo.
The Terminator has a built-in weather station. He knows exactly how he's going to be taxed today.
Yep. Nothing would surprise me less than to hear that. Here's a fly ball out to Sawinski. So after a long at bat, a quick one here, and gets the fly out from Caminero, 2 out. So the other thing we had to clean up, you're talking about the throw to second base.
Oh, yeah.
And how pitchers mess this up all the time.
Very simple thing that you always have to, you said, pitchers say they throw the ball over the plate all day long.
Right.
Well, when you get the ball, just make sure you're gathered.
Okay.
And you never look at the player. Never look at the base runner, never look at the shortstop, second baseman. Do nothing but look at second base and throw the ball over the bag. You don't even care if there's anybody standing there. It doesn't matter. Just throw the ball straight over the bag. You'll never throw one away again.
I guess it makes sense. Like if you're a quarterback in football, you're looking around, you got to time guys, but when you're batting, nobody's out there running around behind. It's kind of static, right?
Well, I mean, when that ball's hit, whoever's job it is to go to the bag, that's what they're doing. It's just automatic. They don't even think about it. They break for the bag. They're going to be there every single time. I always think it's funny, too. And we show it a lot. You see it a lot. You'll see the pitcher look to the infield when somebody gets on first base and look at both the infielders and go, who do I got? You don't want to know. You don't care. Throw it over the bag. You don't care who's covering it. Why do you care about who's covering it?
You got to take a glimpse and see if they're going to be there, though, don't you?
No,
what if they're
no.
Because there's different positioning factors now?
You take that glimpse that's going in center field.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
It kind of sounds like you're just trying to cover yourself there. Are you just trying to cover yourself? Say it wasn't my fault?
Somebody's always cheating over there.
Okay, all right. Okay.
The only time it is your fault is when you throw the ball into center field, you throw the ball left or right, you throw the ball in the dirt, throw the ball straight over the bag, and it'll never be your fault again.
All right, fair enough. Gets just a piece of that to stay alive, does Aranda. But you really want to get the out. You don't want to.
I want the double play.
Okay, right.
You don't want the out. Like in that situation right there, if he would have turned to second base, Hayes scores. If he gets the out at second, he doesn't care. He gave up the run. He wants 2.
All right. Fair enough. Here's the 1-2. And another strikeout. He struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced. 1-0 as we head to the 5th.
He heard you.
After the game today, the Pirates head to Pittsburgh to get ready for opening day against the New York Yankees on Friday. Join us at 2:30 for Pirates first pitch and game day live when Michael McHenry, Stephen Brault, and I will get you set for the opener and bring you all the pomp and circumstance from the field as well. It'll all be right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh and always streaming on SNP 360. Here's Mitch Keller. He will get the home opener nod. Good for Mitch. Nice to be able to divide that up. You have Paul Skeens able to start the season opener, Mitch the home opener, as Reynolds quickly grounds out to begin the 5th inning.
Those are, two games that they don't really mean any more than any other game, but they kind of do. I think especially the fans. So you want your guy to go out there and you want to also acknowledge that they're the stars. They're the guys that are leading that pitching staff.
Did you ever start an opener?
Yeah, one time.
Nice. All right. When was that?
I was in Montreal, I'm say 89. I think that's when we started in Montreal.
Do you remember being excited? And
oh yeah, it was.
Okay.
Well, that's for somebody like me. It's not going to ever happen again. So yeah, it's an exciting thing. It's like you want to check some boxes, in your career, and I think every pitcher would like to check that one.
Well, that's a pretty good box to check. Winning 104 Major League games, over 100. I know that. That's a pretty good box to check too.
It was 5, Rob. But
100.
Okay,
yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry. Should have looked it up.
I
knew it was over 100.
Actually, it might be 4. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I was just kidding.
Some statisticians looking that up for us, I hope.
Oh, yeah. We got people for that.
106, 104. That's good. I thought, okay. All right. Over 100. That's a pretty good number. All-Star game. All-Star game's a pretty good number. World Series.
You're just checking off the boxes.
Checking off the boxes. Oneil Cruz hits one.
Wow.
Yeah, out to left center field and gone. Oneil Cruz, the home run opposite field. And the Buccos have taken a 2-0 lead.
The way that wind is blowing out that direction. Pretty much knew that that one might get over that fence. Just the sound of that ball, too. Exit velocity, I'm sure, was way up there.
108.1. Exit velocity.
Kind of for him.
For him, yeah. At that 115 mile an hour.
I mean, a lot of guys, that would be their hardest one they hit all year. But for him,
That one 115 for his first homer. That is second homer at 108. Deep to left center field. Now, Paul Skeens has that 2-0 lead you were talking about.
Yep, now we're talking. This is what you want. Give him a little room to make a mistake that he's probably not going to make, but just in case. How far did this get over? Oh, that hit right. Did that hit right on top of the wall? Oh, man. Thank you, wind. Yeah, wind probably did help it about 3 or 4 feet, you would think, maybe 5 feet. And he needed that.
By the way, I wasn't getting any help from the truck. Got a rookie here in the broadcast booth. Now I get 105 wins, Bob.
I told you that.
I'm sorry. I shorted you one.
I know it's 105 because it's all my code words.
Don't say that on the air. What are you talking about? That's not true. That's not true. Definitely not true. So that home run was brought to you by UPMC. Oneil Cruz has one right down the right field line, and then the power to left center field in his 2 home runs in the season. So between the two of us, 105 wins up here in the broadcast booth today at the Major League level. Tommy Pham hits it out to left field, and charging in to make the grab is Jake Mangum. So that will be an out here in the 5th inning. The Pirates have had 2 retired here, but in between those outs, the home run by Oneil Cruz, 2-0 lead for the Buccos here as Jack Suwinski strides to the plate.
That's weird how, 2-0 normally you're just feeling, okay, 2-0 with Skeens, it's like I feel like we're up 5-0.
Right, sure. And then sometimes when you have an early deficit and the offense isn't going, it feels insurmountable sometimes, You get down 3 or 4-0 and early, and wow, how are we going to claw back into this game? But Skeens on the mound,
I was
different
hoping,
feeling.
I mentioned this during our opener, it would be nice to get 7 innings out of him today. I know it's just the second start of the year, but he's doing a great job. As you mentioned, he didn't strike anybody out with those first 3 innings. Kept the pitches really low early in the ball game. So even the pitch count is looking really good for him to go 7. And the bullpen would then just have to get 6 outs this afternoon. But we're not there yet.
Nope.
We've still got a ways to go.
Striding up and down the Bucks dugout, pacing. As Jack fouls this one off on a check swing, so 2-2. Meanwhile, Pepio's pitch count's up pretty high. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Pepio is way up there. I don't think we'll see him after this inning. I would love to have seen Skeens as a hitter in the old days.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee who would take that same intensity that he has out on the mound up to the plate. It'd have been fun.
Third time Jack Sawinski's gone down on strikes, but the Pirates do get a home run from O'Neill Cruz, second of the season, as they have taken a 2-0 lead at George M. Steinbrenner Field against the Rays, looking to snap the 4-game losing streak. Home run number 2 in the season for number 15. O'Neill Cruz has the Pirates out in front 2-0. Adam Frazier drove in a run earlier with an RBI single, and now Paul Skeens out on the mound. 98 miles an hour, his first offering to Jose Caballero. Just low. 58 pitches for Paul Skeens, so 30 fewer than Pepio.
Pepio is most likely done. I'm looking at their bullpen.
There's a grounder, and that will just trickle foul of third base, so Ke'Bryan Hayes will loft one into the stands.
Might be able to keep his feet in fair territory there. He would have just reached for it.
Yeah, we saw Pepio doing that earlier, in case you're just joining us.
I wanted to know why it was foul.
There's a little chopper down the first base line, and Pepio got a little toe tap like a wide receiver, but the ball was in foul territory.
Everybody should do that.
And here's a high foul ball that will wander into the stands.
Got to look at it, though. The spin and the breeze we got going, we've got to bring those back to the field. There's a fan.
And the 1-2.
Right
And
there.
gets him looking.
Right down the pipe.
So again, in case you're just joining us, first 10 batters, no strikeouts for Paul Skeens, none in the first 2 innings. Now he's struck out 4 the last 5 he's faced.
Right down the pipe again.
Perfectly placed. That's the pipe right there. You got to aim for that little pipe on the inside, right in the corner, knee high in the corner. It's a different pipe.
The strike zone is made up of about 20, like
25 pipes.
4-inch pipe.
Yeah, there's a lot of pipes.
You hit it, you're going through a pipe somewhere.
Taylor Walls at the foul ball. So we have a great vantage point here. And in case, again, you're just joining us, there was a pitch that I thought was right down the middle. Right down the pipe, and then they showed it was knee-high in the corner. So that is what Bob Walk is referring to.
As far as like us watching the game, you won't get much better than where we're sitting here. But
ooh, this ball is hit well out to right field, but Sawinski's settling underneath it at the edge of the track. Yeah. So 2 away. Well, Saturday, April 19th, when the Cleveland Guardians come to town for a 4:05 start, the first 20,000 fans will take home a bobblehead featuring the 2024 NL Rookie of the Year and Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens, presented by PNC. Go to pirates.com for tickets.
there is something that I've never liked in this ballpark, these broadcast booths, the posts that are going up in front of us. I wish they didn't exist. And the front ledge is like twice as high as it needs to be.
There's a pop fly.
Where's that wind? It's gonna
nope.
Push it back.
Runs out of room.
But that's always been for the very first time we were in here. It's like, why did they do the windows like this? These things are right in front of us. It's hard to look. And we're sitting really low. As you can see, you kind of have to sit up a little bit to see home plate, because the thing in front of us it's about that high.
I need a phone book for you to sit down.
Well, I could use that, yeah. I did try to move these seats. These are adjustable. They're as high as they'll go.
There's the 1-1, and that is way out in front, driven foul down the first base line to Ben Rortvedt.
But we're low and we're close to home plate. This is in the major leagues anymore. A lot of the places used to be like this in the old ballparks. You were real close. But in all the modern ballparks, you're very high and quite a ways back.
Here's the 1-2 to Rortvedt. Just off the plate.
For some reason, they wanted to give those premier seats to the fans. I don't know what they were thinking about. When it used to be the broadcast booth was sitting right there, the best seats in the house, but not anymore.
Here's the 2-2, and it is going to be grounded to first, and Triolo will acknowledge that he's going to take it himself. And so 69 pitches through 5 for Skeens, 2-0 Bucks. Getaway day for the Pirates in Tampa, looking to snap a 4-game losing streak before they head home for the home opener. And now a new pitcher, as Bob accurately forecast, and that pitcher is Kevin Kelly.
Side armor. Comes on for the 3rd time so far this year. Going to work his 3rd inning.
Kelly had a long active streak of not allowing a run. In fact, the longest in the majors. He pitched 25 1/3 scoreless innings before giving up a run in Colorado, being scored upon in Colorado. And so he's looking to start a new streak. The Pirates would like to, of course, see otherwise. So, and they just have so many good arms out of that bullpen, Bob.
To go along with the starters.
Yeah.
Their
Starter.
pitching staff is excellent.
Ke'Bryan tripled to lead off the second, then lined out in his second at bat.
It'll be interesting how these games go here in this ballpark. As we said before, it's probably going to be an offensive-minded park. And a lot of times they're going to have better pitching than the team that comes in.
Ke'Bryan has hit the ball hard 3 times and has just 1 hit to show for it. Lines out here to begin the top of the 6th inning for the Pirates.
So, on paper, when things start, they're going to have a little bit of a home field advantage.
Right. Well, the other thing is too, if it does in fact become more of a hitter's park early, or later, which wipes out a little of their advantage, you would think, with their great pitching staff. They're playing 19 of their first 22 games here. So, you know, they're going to have, what, a quarter of their home slate concluded before they even get into those summer months. And a part of that is not to avoid the heat, but to avoid the rain that seems inevitable in Florida in the summer. 1-1 to Endy.
No roof and no air conditioning.
High chopper. Oh, nice play at short. And that's pretty much scoop it and get the out by Taylor Walls, or you don't scoop it there, Endy's going to be safe. And
yeah, you got to read the ground balls off the bat, just like you read fly balls. And he instantly charges this, knowing he's got to get to the short hop. If he would have laid back a little bit, now he's got a longer in-between hop, and he probably doesn't glove the ball cleanly.
Right.
Like that ball hit inches in front of his glove. The only place it can go is right into the middle of the leather.
That's right.
Got to get to that short hop.
Yeah, you don't want the in-between hop. And like you said, if he laid back for the big hop and he beats it out.
Then you're too late, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. You're either going to get the big hop. You want to catch that ball just before it hits the dirt or just after it.
Jared Triolo hits one hard out to center field, but
not hard.
And not hard enough. And it's going to be a grab out there in center field, and the Pirates go 1-2-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Pirates Baseball is presented by Cohen Markets, real food, real quality, real value. And by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates, because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Johnny DeLuca up to the plate. Ground out in his first at bat. Nice play by Ke'Bryan Hayes. You're talking about how accurate his throwing is. Across the diamond, right in the money. Easy out. Now 0-2.
Ke'Bryan obviously has great hands. Catches everything. And he's a tremendous defender. But his best asset might be the accuracy of his throwing arm. Is always amazing to me.
When that play he had, I think it might have been his rookie year, early in his second year, where he was way over in foul ground and then threw it across his body and just, like you said, right on the money.
Yeah,
right on the money. Such a difficult throw. He was moving all the way toward foul ground. Remember that throw?
No, yeah.
Incredible.
See, the great hands for an infielder, to me, that's how they avoid errors. They got great hands. They don't miss, they don't bobble. They got great hands. They turn base hits into outs with a good, accurate arm.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
You know, throwing from, deep in the hole. Throwing on the run, charging hard up the line. And they make that accurate throw.
Right.
That's what gets you the out.
Wow, a little shotgun sound behind you there. There's a ball being fouled off. Another foul ball.
Pickoff throws from pitchers to first.
Mm-hmm.
The accurate pickoff throws, that's when you get a chance to pick somebody off.
Right.
You can have the quickest move ever. But if the throw is always up and away or bouncing in the dirt, you never get anybody.
It was a dangerous throw. That throw's got to be low over there,
yeah.
right?
Catcher's throwing to second. Same thing.
Fouled off again. But, an infielder has more margin for error. When you're trying to that pickoff throw, it's got to be, you want it to be,
but
8 inches off the ground.
But you're not throwing it very far either as a third baseman.
True.
But there's never, Hayes never uses the margin for error.
No.
It's always right on the money.
Right in the
it's
chest.
Like, no, I don't need that. It's always right down the pipe.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Like a dog with a pipe, or a dog with a bone in its mouth. You're not going to let that one.
No.
That one's not going to. That one's not going anywhere.
My favorite of the day. I'm going to use it 3 more times for the 9th.
Here's the 1-2. And lace towards the middle of the field. IKF spinning, throwing, too tall for Triolo. And now we talk about the throws, and instead of perhaps an out, we have a runner at second base.
The accurate throw would have turned a base hit into an out. It would have been close. It would have been a bang play. Watching, when the ball goes, say, over the bag, he's maybe not quite touching it yet. That would have been a close play.
Single and an error on the throw has a runner in scoring position for the first time in this game for the Rays.
Tanner Falefa and Hayes talking to each other right there. Communication on that ground ball in the hole. Maybe Hayes saying, "Hey, if you have to go to your right, I'll be there for you. I'll be at the bag." We were talking earlier about how well those two guys work together on that play. I'm sure that's what they were talking about.
First pitch curveball dropped into Yandy Diaz. Here's the 0-1. Diaz does his job, grounds to the right side. Frazier loses the handle, but Diaz, on a nice scoop by Triola, not flying out of the bag and hearing it from the fans here.
He did not run, and they are giving it to him. I mean, he just accepted, okay, I did my job. I moved the runner, and there he is. I mean, he didn't even he carried the bat for quite a ways.
Yep.
And then the fact that once he sees the ball is bobbled, then he takes off running, and that kind of points out to everybody, it's just jogging.
Yep. Wow. That was fortunate for the Pirates because it could be
Nobody out.
beginning of some trouble with the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up and nobody out. Instead of 1 out, runner on third. The 0-1 to Lau. Ooh, wave and a miss. The heater up high. 98 miles an hour on that one, and now 0-2.
And Skeens wants to strike out here. He does not want to allow a run. Interesting what he picks to do here. After that high fastball, what will be the selection?
The 0-2. Fouls that off. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. At what point, because a pitcher, I suppose it's different for every pitcher, right? If you're Paul Skeens with the strikeout ability, are you thinking strikeout from the first pitch, or does that change throughout the course of an at-bat?
It probably depends on who the pitcher is.
Right, sure.
Like somebody that doesn't strike out a whole lot of people? No, not at all.
There's the 0-2, and that is just foul.
Especially with the, you got the 2-run lead.
Right.
Thinking, okay, just get it out.
Right.
If you want to know what's important, turn around and look behind you. If the manager has the infielders playing back, he wants it out.
Right, right. But sometimes you can take it upon yourself. They talk about that with young pitchers, trying to do too much. Trying to work your way out of a jam. Now you wind up walking a guy, and here comes the big inning.
You create a big inning. Yeah.
Right.
Now, if the infield's in, that kind of tells you, well, that we should try and save this run.
Here's the 0-2, and they are going to get the run in. The ground ball, one will come across, and that will have the Pirates lead to 2-1.
But that was, the strategy of the Pirates as a whole was to they would trade a run for an out there,
right.
Play the infield back. Don't take any chances that a weak ground ball sneaks through somewhere and it goes for a base hit. And so that's what happened. They traded that 1 out. They still have the lead. Now Skeens, I'm sure, probably when he got to 1 strike, started thinking strikeout. I know he was thinking strikeout when he got 2 strikes. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt in my mind. He just, sometimes a hitter is just thinking, I'm cutting my swing way down, almost playing pepper. I'm just going to get a ball put in play here. The infield's back, and that's what happened there.
Mangum lifts one out to center field. Cruz drifts back underneath it, has the glasses down, makes the grab, and 1 run scores, but the Pirates will head to the bottom of the 6th with a 2-1 lead. Back at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Pirates nursing a 2-1 lead after an unearned run scores. Let's take a look at the Bet356 live betting odds, and IKF comes to the plate, and those live betting odds are plus 280 to get a hit for IKF. Who singled in his last at bat. Leading off here in the top of the 7th, facing a new pitcher. And his right-hander, Garrett Clevenger. Left-hander. Did I say left-hander or did I say right-hander? Left-hander, Garrett Clevenger. The 0-1.
I like it too, dude. We can hear the umpire here.
Yeah. Yep.
Very old school, like, no, it's out.
Mostly a sinker slider guy is Clevenger. Here's the 1-1 pitch. 96 miles an hour. That pretty much is almost everybody, right? Out of this Rays bullpen.
He's actually a soft tosser.
They brought in Montgomery last night and saw 102 up on the scoreboard. 102.
It reminded me of
from a lefty.
Oh, the guy from Houston years ago. Brian Giles hit the grand slam to win the game off of
Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner, yeah. That was like Billy Wagner coming in. 7-0 game.
Grounded crisply to short across the diamond. One away here in the 7th.
Kutch turned him around, though.
Oh, he sure did.
That was 101. He smoked the line drive in the center. Got a
coming in as
pinch hit appearance coming off the bench.
Yep.
Guy's throwing 100 to 102.
Yep.
No problem. He's getting up there in years, but he can still turn around the good fastballs.
I think his home run was Frazier hit by a pitch, so he'll take first base. Home run this year was on a high and
up
inside.
And
yeah, he pulled it down the line, and that was an impressive home run. Oh, there's Frazier hit by the pitch.
What was impressive about that home run was the situation, the pitches where they were, the type of pitches before that up and in pitch. It had him perfectly set up to get him out with an up and in fastball. That was very impressive.
There's Reynolds now.
I mean, when he did it, I said that if somebody would have given me the ball and said, you can run up there and place this ball wherever you want it, that's the spot I would have put it. Yeah. Even if the people hit that ball hard, which is very difficult to do in that situation, they pull it foul.
That's right.
You get the head of the bat to it, it's going foul.
Yep.
He kept it fair.
Well, you know, we hear players say, well, you got to tip your cap. I suppose as a pitcher, I mean, as discouraging as that is, you just have to say, well, I did what I wanted.
Yeah, you're not tipping your hat. You're not giving him any credit, but you're just like, you're repeating as you're walking. How did he do that?
Right.
How did he do that? You go back and you watch a video. Say, yeah, that was right where I thought it was.
Yep. I think what would drive a pitcher crazy is if you have a guy set up for a certain pitch and then suddenly he's looking for that pitch. You know, what are you doing looking for that pitch? You shouldn't be looking for that pitch.
It makes you doubt your stuff, too. Like if somebody hits a fastball like that, you're like, whoa. You know, maybe I need to go back to the drawing board here a little bit.
A humbling game, as they say. To 1 pitch, Frazier on first after he's hit by a pitch. Reynolds at the plate, huge hole off the right side here. Clevenger trying to work him inside, now runs the count to 3-1. Clevenger comes set. Here's a 3-1 pitch. I don't know, he's going to throw first over to first base, where Frazier, not a big lead and didn't look like he was thinking about running there. Back easily. Unearned run scores in the bottom of 6. Pirates would love to come right back here and add one on the board. Oop, and there is a called strike down at the bottom of the strike zone at 97 miles an hour. Full count.
Not one you want to swing at anyway. When you're heading to count 3-1, you'll take that every day.
That's right. Now has to protect and does and fouls it off.
Yeah, it's changed now, obviously. You're at 2 strikes, so you have to honor those edge pitches.
Right.
The margins.
The margins, right.
Got a hit on the margin.
3-2 to Reynolds. Fouled off again. I think that's a good point, too, because just because it's a strike doesn't mean you should swing at it. It depends upon the situation.
Yeah. And that's, again, back when we're talking about some guys, they take professional at-bats because they know those sort of things, and their hitting strategy at the time is according to what's going on the field.
Reynolds called out on strikes. Another one right down at the bottom of the strike zone, and it's time for StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. And this is the 5th inning, a 1-0 game, and this makes it a 2-0 game. Exit velocity 108.1, 391 feet, just off the top of the wall and out for Oneil Cruz. His 2nd home run of the season. Pirates needed that because the unearned run has cut the lead to 2-1. So right now, that is the hit that is the difference in the game.
We know exactly how far the wall is right there.
Yes, because it hit the top of the wall.
They only have 3 numbers, the lines and dead center.
Right.
It looks like it's shallow to right, and left center is a little on the deep side.
Yep.
And you're just looking at the ballpark. I guess that's kind of how Yankee Stadium.
That's exactly it, right. Trying to match the dimensions of the big league park.
Not a lot of room out in right because Del Mabry, the street, is right there. If you're standing on the back of that little walkway and look straight down, the sidewalk is right there.
Raymond James Stadium, you can just see a little glimpse of it outside of the stadium along the right field line. Home of the Tampa Bay Bucks as Cruz takes a strike, now 1-2. Breaking pitch, and he gets Cruz looking, and we head to the bottom of the 7th inning with the Pirates up 2-1. And Paul Skeens remains out on the mound as the Pirates have a 2-1 lead heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. Pretty efficient outing for Paul Skeens thus far, 87 pitches as he gets set to face Junior Caminero to begin this inning. And that pitch is away, so it'll be 1-0. pop-up. Jack Suwinski racing in, O'Neill Cruz racing in. Frazier coming out in a collision, but Frazier able to hang on. And that will be the first out. A little frightening, and I don't know if that's one of those wind-blown balls we were talking about earlier, or maybe a communication issue, but Frazier able to hang on.
Well, it's the way the pecking order goes out there on a ball that everybody can catch. It's the center fielder's ball. He's the man. And then the next guy is going to be Suwinski. And then the infielder is the last guy.
Right.
So if either one of the two outfielders says I got it, Frazier has to get out of the way. And then between the two infielders or the two outfielders, looked like both of them were yelling there.
Whew. When he spun away from the ball like he was expecting for a moment, it looked to me like he was expecting one of the outfielders to call him off, and hung with it and got the out.
Yeah, I think he was. And then I guess he didn't hear anything. It's always much easier for an outfielder to catch those than an infielder.
1-0 to Aranda is inside. So I was asking you earlier about, when you start thinking about that strikeout with less than 2 out and a runner on third base, so when in the count. I'm going to ask you a question about Skeens' outing here after this pitch. 2-0. And inside. Are you at any point, look, I know you're supposed to just go out and do your job, but these guys are human beings. You're thinking about, well, what do I need to do to maybe go beyond this inning? Maybe try to be efficient. Maybe try to be pitch to, the whole pitch to contact thing. There's a strike to get him back in the count at 3-1.
Well, personal experience, which I'm not really talking about personal me, but people that pitched when I pitched, that was very seldom a thought of like, wow, I got 90 pitches. I got to get out of this next inning in like 8 pitches to go on another one. No, but I think nowadays it definitely, I would be surprised if pitchers weren't concerned with their pitch count and really thinking about it.
It's more prevalent.
I got to keep it down or they're going to take me out of this ball game. And they do. So, yeah, guys got to think about it. Now, some guys don't care.
3-2 to Aranda, and that skip just foul. There's some close shots on that first base line.
A guy like Skeens, I think if you just let him, he'd pitch 9 every game.
Right. Yeah. That's right.
But there's other people that are built differently that are saying to themselves, my job is to go 6, and that's what I'm going to do.
Right. Well, you can see it's been a pretty efficient outing. The highest pitch count that recently concluded 6th inning. Error behind him, and now gets a strikeout of Aranda
after he fell way behind. And it's what I like too about that. It's consistent. There's not like, well, he put up a 28 this inning, but then he got out of the next inning with just 6. It's not anything like that. He's
right.
Consistent. Because I think the innings where you have to throw a whole lot of pitches would draw you down more than if the total is up there.
Pitch to Caballero, ball 1. That's something Teak always said. Teak thought 15 pitches or fewer, that's fine. And then you 15 to 20 maybe is something. Then you start to get over 20.
Yeah, you throw a couple of a 25 and a 26 in there, something like that. That's going to have more of a tiring effect on you
than the overall amount.
Than if you're just going out there and really consistently, throwing 12 to 17 right in there.
Right. This would be pitch number 99. Skeens finds himself, after falling behind Aranda 3-0, is 2-0 on Caballero. And now 3-0 to consecutive batters.
And these are the things that you used to look at to see if there's tiring. He's gone 3-0, 2 batters in a row. That would be a sign that's you would look at much more than what the pitch count is. If you see some big change in how he's pitching from the previous 6 or 7 innings to now what he's doing, that's when the red flag would go up.
He's thrown 14 pitches this inning, 7 balls, 7 strikes. Trying to get through 7 full. Has not walked a batter yet through 6 2/3. 3 hits, 5 strikeouts. Here's the payoff to Caballero, and swung on and missed. Picks up his 6th strikeout, gets a fist pump from Endy, and heads to the dugout with the Pirates up 2-1. Paul Skeens, you were looking for maybe a little deeper outing than we saw on opening day, and you got it. 7 innings. We're presuming he's finished, but maybe not. 7 strong.
Well, yeah, I did specifically say I wanted to see 6 innings today, and so he definitely gave us that. And to show you the type of stuff he does, another thing that separates him from other pitchers is right there at the end. He goes 3-0 on the last 2 guys, and reaches back and finds a little something and ends up striking both of them out.
Right.
So 7 innings today, no earned runs.
And gets the hug. Oh, what a fine play at shortstop by Taylor Walls. I thought all along the high Baltimore chop was going to be an infield single, but another do or die play for Walls, and he does again.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing play there. That's not the short hop.
No.
That's the one that you see kind of bounce off the heel of the glove or the side every now and then. That was excellent.
Yep. The congratulations from Derek Shelton. That usually means the outing's over for Paul Skeens. 7 great innings. Manuel Rodriguez is now in pitching for the Rays.
Yeah, the Pirate bullpen is working too, which tells you the day is done. Rodriguez numbers, a couple of games, hasn't given up anything. Hard thrower.
There's a sinker, mostly sinkers and sliders. We talk about that, you know, as a reliever, you get 2 pitches going in opposite ways, and you only probably have to get through 1 inning. Don't need that 3rd pitch. There's an occasional 4-seam.
If you're the master of those 2 pitches, you don't need the 3rd anyway.
Right.
It's been, like everybody says, oh, starters need more pitches. Well, there's been plenty of really good starters that are 2-pitch guys. Even some of them that have 4 pitches, well, really, they're 2-pitch guys.
Right. Oh, Sawinski blasts one towards the gap, and it's going to drop in. So good for Jack as he gets a base hit out to right field. Had been 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, but now adds a single here to get a runner aboard in the 8th. Here's Colin Holderman warming up. Pirates' first hit, by the way, since the 5th inning when Cruz hit that home run. So Holderman, I'd love to see another run aboard here, a run across here for the Pirates before Holderman comes in. Ke'Bryan Hayes up at the plate. Triple, lined out to left, and then lined out to first. Or lined out to right, I beg your pardon, and lined out to first. So hit the ball hard 3 times. Swung on and missed, 0-2 now.
Timeout and a walk. With the new rules, they'll let a hitter do that once every at bat.
Suwinski not going at first. Ball is low and away, so it'll be a 1-2 count. Love to get that bullpen just a little more breathing room here. Suwinski going. And Ke'Bryan will ground one towards third and throw across the diamond. Good play there. So a couple of fine defensive plays, but Suwinski on the move, able to get to second base. And so runner in scoring position as Endy Rodriguez comes to the plate.
You know, the Pirates have a lot of stolen bases for a number of reasons, but they do have a lot of guys that are pretty fast runners. You know, like for instance, Ke'Bryan Hayes, traditionally your third baseman's probably a little on the slow side. Well, Ke'Bryan's not slow at all. He can steal a base anytime. So they have a lot of guys that are like that. That's another one of the reasons why they are accumulating all these steals early on. They have good team speed.
Yep, good use of an asset that the Pirates have. Now, you talk about Tampa, and we've talked about their pitching, but man, 2 really fine defensive plays here in this top of the 8th inning. And you're really in business if neither one of those or either one of those plays isn't made.
Well, good
right?
pitching can be wasted if you don't have people that catch the ball consistently. So if you're going to build a team around pitching, you better get some glove men.
1-1 to Endy. And hit hard through the hole in the right side, and that's going to bring Suwinski home with a clutch 2-out RBI for Endy Rodriguez. Second time the Pirates have gotten that clutch 2-out RBI.
Hitting with runners in scoring position is something that we needed to get changed, and today we're seeing that.
Well, that is a potentially big insurance run for the Pirates. Good for Endy, who's hit a couple balls hard today. Not been rewarded with a hit until now. And here's Triolo, grounder to third, scooped up, across the diamond, and just get Triolo running hard down the first base line. Pirates do push a run across. They'll take a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 8th inning. Now, Paul Skeens, 7 strong innings. He has exited the game. The Pirates push an insurance run across to make it 3-1. And there's the pitching line for Paul Skeens. 102 pitches. Bob, what do you think overall?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Best. I mean, that's what you need. You know, we got him a little bit of a lead. It was very slim. You know, no earned runs. The only run they got was off an error. That's what the big guys do, or the Terminator.
The Terminator. This Pirates pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust. And ball 1 as Colin Holderman takes the mound facing Taylor Walls. He'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the Rays lineup. And misses inside, 2-0. Well, you don't want to issue a free pass here, Bob. I think that's pretty safe to say.
Yeah, when you have a lead, the last thing you want to do is
ripped into the Rays dugout.
free pass.
Yeah, right. And then you're just
Got to throw strikes.
one swing and make him earn it. Ryan Brucky, the left-hander. Brucky's been terrific thus far.
Hey, he looks just like he did 2 years ago before he got hurt.
2-1 to Walls. Now 3-1. .89 miles an hour toward the top of the strike zone with that pitch. Full count now.
Bit of a breaking off-speed pitch. Didn't want to give in and throw a fastball there. Another off-speed pitch, and he walks him. What he didn't want to do.
Back in 2023 against the Rays was May 5th, and Colin Holderman threw an immaculate inning. 9 pitches, all strikes, 3 strikeouts. You know, amazing. There's been more talk about the immaculate inning. It's happened with more frequency. Still very rare. There have been 326 no-hitters in baseball history, Bob, and just 114 immaculate innings. It's more rare than a no-hitter.
Yeah, I remember when Jeff Robinson threw that 1 years ago in Chicago. That was a lot of talk after the game about, because they were even rarer then than they are now.
Right, that's right. There are more strikeouts now in the game. Yeah,
and how there's that was like we just saw like a perfect game.
Right.
You know, that kind of
moon
analogy.
landing or something.
Yeah,
sure.
it was like that just doesn't happen.
The 0-1, and Frazier able to flag it down. He'll spin, go to first, and so retires Rortvedt. 1 out, runner does advance to second base, but they do get an out on the play. Good play by Adam Frazier.
You're going way into that hole. And there's no chance to throw and get the lead runner.
None.
You're
Right.
not even going to look over there anyway because of the score.
Right.
Everybody on the field should know exactly what the score is and where the tying run is at any moment. Right now, it's at the plate.
Right. Well, I don't know, you know, phrases always change, but for a long time that was called situational baseball, right? Know the situation and then execute accordingly.
Really, it should just be called baseball. If you know baseball, you know that toward the end of the game, you got to know where the tying run is.
Right. 0-2 pitch. Johnny DeLuca.
I mean, sometimes you just look out there and just, you know, okay, you count backwards from, okay, that's one, two, and then you got them.
Right.
All you got to do.
Okay. Here's the 0-2. Second 0-2 pitch to DeLuca. Oh, and this one gets away from Endy Rodriguez, and now Holderman has a runner on third as that scoots away.
You know, where it can get confusing is when like a team is like, say, 5 runs down or something, and they make that big run toward in the last inning or something, and now you're starting to wonder, well, where is the tying run? Is it in the dugout? Is it on deck? You know, you.
Two, and that is laced into left field for a base hit, and so the bottom of the order coming through for the Rays. DeLuca the RBI single, and we now have a 1-run game.
Now everybody, probably especially the outfielders, in their heads, they have to think about the tying run is at first base, and they're going to have to play and throw to, you know, on a double, on a single, accordingly.
Runner going, throw down to second base, and boy, easily stolen base there. It's taken off.
The throw is way offline.
Right, and they sometimes talk about, hey, when something happens unexpectedly, go on that first pitch, right?
Frazier tries to tag him in the helmet, like on the top of the head as he's going by, but look at I mean, the throw is probably 6 feet to the first base side of the bag.
Diaz will take the strike here, and you got a dangerous guy at the plate. The 1-2-3 hitters now, just one out here. Tying run at second base. Diaz fouls it off. 1-2 now. Couldn't tell if that hit him. He obviously fouled it off.
Yeah.
He's not
poured in on him.
Right.
He thought it was going to break over the plate, and it didn't do anything. Stayed right on his hands. I don't know if he hit the knob of the bat or the up above his hands on the handle. Oh, it hit way back at the back of that. Right at the very end of the bat on the check swing. If he had had a torpedo bat, it might have went straight through with a foul off. Anxious to get my hands on one of those and see what they look like.
torpedo bat.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Here's the 1-2, and he struck him out. Big strikeout by Colin Holderman, and the second out here of the inning.
Looks like we're going to see Barecki.
Yep, got a left-hander 2 up, and Brandon Lau. Yep, Derek Shelton does in fact want the ball. That strikeout was presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Big strikeout by Holderman, still a runner on second in a 1-run game with Barecki coming on to face the lefty. back at George M. Steinbrenner Field, and there are the numbers for Ryan Borucki, Bob.
Yeah, he's quickly become a favorite again. He's pitching extremely well, and this is his 4th game now on this first road trip.
And he will not face a lefty. Lau is out of the game, and Curtis Mead, a right-handed hitter, will come in to face Ryan Borucki, who throws ball 1. Jake Mangum, a switch hitter, is on deck. And there's a strike, so Mead 0 for 9 on the season. Looking for his first hit. Borucki trying to make sure that doesn't happen here and pick up another hold for the Pirates. Get it to the 9th inning with a lead. 2-1 now, or 2-1 now. So his numbers last season for Mead.
Oh,
Rips this one foul.
out in the dugout.
I am really glad to keep those. They have those screens up to protect the fans. They're 110 miles an hour. But foul. So now a 2-2 count. Oh, and Borucki gets him looking with a strikeout. And we head to the 9th with the Pirates enjoying a 3-2 lead. Now the Pirates, Colin Holderman gets some help from Ryan Borucki. They get through the 8th inning, do allow 1 run, but Borucki, big strikeout here of Mead, the pinch hitter, to get this thing to the 9th inning with the lead, Bob.
Yep, that was huge, Borucki, as he's been doing all spring and here early on, getting nothing but outs. And now we have the leadoff hitter aboard. Get that run back would be an awfully nice feeling.
Hit by pitch. IKF aboard. Will he run here perhaps?
I was about to say, even they might bunt him over, but the way we've been successful stealing, why bother giving up an out?
Edwin Uceda, by the way, is on the mound. Pitch this 9th inning, or at least begin it here for the Rays, and they will bunt, and it is Frazier and just squirts foul.
Uceda doesn't look like he's very quick home either.
Always interesting to play along, see what Derek Shelton is going to come up with here. And throw back over to keep an eye on IKF.
If you did steal successfully, I mean, that's, you can't always just assume you're going to be, but if you did, then Frazier could just
ground ball, right?
He just hit a ground ball.
Yep.
And move him to third. And And then we'd be in great shape.
And it looks like he fouled back that bunt attempt, so it'll be 0-2 now. Looking for some clarity, maybe as to whether he sounded like he hit the ball.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's what the discussion is. Did he definitely contact the ball?
Well, if he didn't, we should have a runner at second.
Right, that's right. Here's the 0-2. And Frazier is able to poke a single out into left center field. IKF going to stomp on second and now going to head back to the bag. Look for a moment like he might head to third, but base hit by Adam Frazier. 2-hit day for Adam Frazier. Now the Pirates with a runner in scoring position.
Frazier didn't move him, but, well, he did move him.
Yes,
moved
he did.
him with the base hit. Didn't have to give up the out.
That brings up Bryan Reynolds. Pirates looking for some insurance here in the top of the ninth. Take strike one in the inside corner. Bryan 0 for 4 in the game. A couple ground outs, a line out, and a strikeout in this one. Set a delivery and hit slowly. The throw over to second. No way they're going to get Reynolds back at first. He beats that out. So runners on the corners now and one out. So
That was kind
at
of,
least gets that runner to third.
that was kind of a risky throw back to the pitcher. But they got it done. Pitchers aren't the most sure-handed over there. If that gets by, it's the run's home.
Discussion on the mound here. Okay, so now you talked about how to throw the ball to second base, right? On a grounder to start the double play. What are you thinking when you're running over there to cover first base? On a play like that, that's one thing if it's being flipped to you underhand.
Okay, I tell you exactly what I would think.
Santana warming up. Looks
What-
like he might
what
be
I'm thinking.
getting the close opportunity.
I am trying to get to that base as quickly as I can so that when I turn around, it's not hitting me in the nose. I want to. You're like, you don't want to take your eye and look early because you might miss the bag.
Right.
You got to get your foot on the bag.
Uh-huh.
But you know that throw's coming.
Right.
So I guess it's kind of like a wide receiver feels like on a short thing.
Uh-huh.
Is he going to turn around and the ball is hitting him in the chest the second he turns around?
Yeah.
That's what I thought all the time. Is what's that shortstop doing? Is the ball already on the way? Oh,
Bruce.
man.
Oh, sizzled down the right field line, but just foul. There have been more balls hit down that right field line.
That was probably harder than the home run. The home
Yeah.
run was 108. Oh, 118, yeah.
Good call.
My goodness.
Nice loud sound off the bat of Oneil Cruz. One swing, he could make this a non-safe situation. I don't think anyone would complain too much about that. The Pirates side of things. One from Museda. 2 aboard, 1 out here in the ninth. Pirates up 3-2. And I'm way out in front of that one, so a 1-2 count now. Cruz gets a moment. Talking about the batter getting 1 moment for each at bat. He gets a moment here now. Digs in. A 1-2 pitch from Museda. Two and two. I don't want to be greedy here, Bob. He's a hard guy to double up. Right? Long fly ball will. It's a slow chopper will score 1. A fly ball will score 1.
Just get that 1 run home. That is probably going to be in the seats, I guess.
There is almost no foul ground over here at Steinbrenner Field.
Can't really see down
Yeah,
in
it's
that
tucked
corner.
around the corner. So one area, well, you can't really see too much down the right field line, but you definitely can't see down the left field line from our position here.
No, he pretty much disappeared. Yeah, just watch the umpire.
It's another 2-2 pitch from Uceda to O'Neill Cruz. And this is fouled on the right field line.
Cruz might have him covered. He's able to at least foul that changeup, which was the pitch that was giving him a hard time. Able to foul that off. If he makes it be in the strike zone, I don't think you'll see a swing and miss on that changeup.
2-2 pitch. 3-2 pitch now.
That's the one I was worried about, the one that runs off the out of the strike zone that could get him to chase after. If he gets him in the strike zone, I don't care if it's a fastball or a changeup. He'll at least get a piece of either one of those. Make him throw a strike.
Here's the payoff pitch. Runner going, and this ball is hit out to left field. Definitely deep enough to score IKF. Continues to drift into the alley, but IKF, after the catch, will tag and score. And so, job well done by Cruz as the Pirates take a 2-run lead. Or 2-run lead, I beg your pardon.
He didn't even have to get his bat dirty.
He carried it with him
the whole way.
A 2 RBI day for O'Neill Cruz.
That was a nice at bat.
Yep.
Doing what he had to do. That was another changeup, right? And it was in the strike zone. Excellent.
Tommy Pham at the plate. Pham has walked twice.
So we get that running. We don't have to be done.
Yeah, no, Moore's good.
Yeah.
You say, look, Santana comes in a non-save situation. That would be okay.
Outfield very deep. It'd be tough to get a double.
There goes the runner at first. It's Brian Reynolds, and Reynolds is out. Tag up high as the throw went into him, sliding into second base. Pirates do push one across. They'll have a 4-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the ninth. O'Neill Cruz with a home run and a sacrifice fly. That sacrifice fly coming in the top of the ninth inning as the Pirates push across runs in the 8th and 9th to give Dennis Santana a little breathing room. Here's his Valvoline numbers, Bob.
Yep. He is kind of getting the first look right now at getting a save.
4 career saves, in case you're wondering. 1 with Texas back in 22, 2 with the Yankees last year, 1 with the Pirates.
They said they're going to mix and match, but I think it'll be heavy Santana for a while to see how he does, because he pitched pretty darn well last year late. Started off kind of being a middle guy and started pitching later and later and later as he got to be very consistent.
Facing Jake Mangum, who has been just a thorn in the Pirates side, 8 for 11 in the series. Began the series with 6 consecutive hits, just 2 off the Rays' all-time record. Singled in the first on a bouncer through the left side off Paul Skeens. 1-1 count. Good pitch there. Mangum fouls it away. Well, it hasn't been a great road trip to begin the season for the Pirates, but it feel a little bit better in the flight home if they can preserve this victory here today. Fouled off, just gets a piece of it.
Be a feel-good win. Make everybody feel a little bit better.
Right.
I mean, obviously, this time of year, there's no such thing as a must-win. But this one, we needed some kind of a game where get everybody in a little bit better mood, especially with the day off coming up.
And lined right to Key Brian Hayes at third base, so getting over that Jake Mangum hump, which has been difficult to do this series. And able to get the first out here in the 9th inning.
Still had a line drive.
Yeah.
Adam Ball, thank you.
That'll bring up Junior Caminero, whose 5-game hitting streak is on the line here. Just away, 1-0 count. Going the old school stockings from Santana. And Caminero off balance on the check swing there.
Yeah, it's like he's just kind of wearing shorts out there.
And he's got the socks all the way up above the knees, though.
Yeah. Way up above the knees. Those are like shorts.
You know what? Start closing some games, getting a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't shorts.
You will go to some parks in Pittsburgh and see some kids sporting that style, right?
Yeah. The uniforms, they just go in cycles instead of the way they're worn.
Yep.
Go back about, I'm going to say 20 years ago, everybody was wearing pajamas out there.
We rolled the IKF across the diamond, 2 away, 1 out away from preserving something out of this 3-game set in Tampa and coming away with a victory. You had the high stirrups look in your day?
Yeah, oh yeah. Just the little black line going up the side.
You know, we see various looks. All 3 Pirates outfielders have this sort of traditional sock look. Santana going beyond traditional.
The infielders.
It's okay. Get strike 1 here.
Infield's all got their pants down, tucked in their shoes.
That's right. Jonathan Aranda, 0 for 3. Just a little up and in. 1-1.
I think he went. Yep, he did.
Sure did. 1-2. And keep in mind just a 2-run lead. Jose Caballero on deck. Dearly like to keep Aranda off the base paths here. 1-2 count. Up and away, 2-2.
Odd time for a visit. Bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, 2 strikes, nobody on. Timeout. We got to talk this over.
Derek Shelton's team could really use a victory here. Tough opening series in Miami, and then just running into some outstanding starting pitching in Tampa. Paul Skeens throws a strong performance today. Pirates trying to make it hold up. Skeens goes 7, did not allow an earned run. Now a 2-run lead here for the Pirates. 4-2 is Santana looking for the save. And Aranda hits one high up into the air. Rodriguez trying to settle underneath it, but it will head to the stands. There's not a lot of foul ground here.
Yeah, typical spring training. They get everybody really close to the field. Of course, with the netting nowadays, it makes a lot of sense.
Right, right.
You might as well get them as close as you can. The hitters like the fact there's no foul ground.
Sure. Here's the 2-2 offering from Santana. And Aranda, did he swing? He did not.
I think he did.
On the appeal, Marvin Hudson down there third base and says he did not swing. So now a 3-2 count. And again, you do not want to see a base runner here in a 2-run lead if you're the Pirates. Payoff pitch. This is hammered, but it is foul down the right field line. Hit a long way, but about a dozen feet foul. And so it'll be another 3-2 pitch.
Real short foul poles here. That's another thing that separates this from a big league ballpark. There's no way of seeing whether that was fair or foul because of the pole.
Right, right.
And that was way over the top of the foul pole.
3-2 pitch. Aranda, another foul ball. A good battle here between Santana and Aranda. Ninth pitch of this at bat. Santana comes to the set. And we will have a 10th pitch in the at bat.
It won't go easy, will it?
No. Here are those first 9 pitches. And here is pitch number 10. And just off the plate. And it'll be a walk to Aranda, and Caballero will come up. Actually, there's going to be a pinch hitter for Caballero. The tying run will come to the plate.
And Morel.
Christopher Morel. And
he swings hard.
Oh, does he ever?
I mean, he comes out of his shoes swinging it. At 2 outs and you're the tying run. That's what you're looking for, a long ball.
Pirates talking things over out of the mound.
You know, this visit makes sense. You get the pinch hitter coming up there. It's Morel, a guy that's looking to hit home runs. A home run will tie the game. You got to have a little bit of a talk here. And it also gives Santana a little breather after that.
Right.
Very long at bat.
Morel back in 23 had 26 home runs for the Cubs. Followed that up the next year with 21, although the batting average really plummeted, but he definitely has power in that bat. Kevin Cash hoping he can run into one here. Santana will back him off the plate in that first offering. Here's the 1-0. Big cut and a miss. Doesn't appear to be much doubt as to what he's trying to do up there at the plate.
They use it against him.
Here's the 1-1.
They are. They know he's just trying to pull the ball out of the ballpark, and so they're just staying down and away with soft stuff.
Here's the 1-2. Two and two now. So 2 pitches inside. Went inside, then went away twice. Comes inside here in this 4th pitch.
That had to be a mistake, though. That was a slider. I don't think he wanted to throw a slider off the plate inside like that.
And a high fly ball. Jack Suwinski out and right, racing in, settles underneath it, makes the grab, and the Pirates win here at George M. Steinbrenner Field to snap the 4-game losing streak. Final score is 4-2. Paul Skeens picks up the victory. Santana picks up the save.
Yep, Skeens did exactly what we wanted. Went his 7 innings, gave up just 1 run, but it was unearned. I mean, basically he gave up nothing.
Right.
He paced himself. Either it was by accident or it's just the way it worked out, but he really was very efficient early on, maintained the 12, 14, 16, 14, 15 pitches every inning. So when he got to 6, he still had plenty left in the tank. They let him go the extra one. Bullpen only has to get the last 6 outs that way. Nice.
Well, Joe Block up in Milwaukee. Guys always hate to miss a game. I enjoy the opportunities to get to fill in. I did my first game with you in Cleveland many years ago.
Many years ago, yeah. You and I have actually got together a few times.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable. Thank you for having me up here. I hope Joe safe travels up to Milwaukee up there for Bob Uecker's memorial service. Worked with Bob Uecker in Milwaukee, and of course Joe will be back in the broadcast booth on Friday when the Pirates return home for the home opener. Not the road trip they wanted, but maybe get a little bit of a good feeling, a little bit of a spike with his victory here today.
Yeah, with the win today, you can kind of turn the page on the on what went on down in Miami with all the walk-off stuff, and move on from there now. But we did a better job of hitting with the runners in scoring position, and that for me was the main thing. You gotta score some runs.
Yep.
That way, when you do make a little mistake out on the field, it just doesn't stick right up there like a sore thumb and haunt you. You score some runs, get some breathing room. It's tough to just play a perfect game day after day after day.
All right, let's go downstairs where Hannah Mears is standing by with Endy Rodriguez. Hannah.
Endy, a great team win, fueled first and foremost by Paul Skeens. It was your first time catching him in a major league performance. What was your impression of his 7 innings today?
That he was there all game. His staff was perfectly in the game, like his man, like everything was due. So it's all that I watched last year. He's there, man. It's pretty cool.
It was also pretty cool to watch your buddy out there, Dennis Santana, close this one out. What did you go say to him before that?
That you got it, man. It's the first of many. So just trust in yourself and got it.
How impressed were you with that bullpen and the way they came out and executed? I mean, Borucki was strong, Holderman kept it in, and then Santana closing it off.
For sure, that's what we expect about our bullpens. We have pretty good arms over there, and I feel that's the thing that we need for winning this game.
Your run that you drove in made all the difference in this one for your team. How nice was it to contribute offensively out there?
Oh, man, I was cold at that situation whole game. I said, give me that. I need it, I want it, and I got it.
Hey, you know what else we need? A great performance when we get home to PNC Park. How much are you looking forward to going back and playing in front of this home crowd?
You could imagine I missed the whole year, so I just want to go back home and give my 100% and try to do better my job.
Well, I know the fans are very excited to see you and your energy, Endy. Congrats on the win today. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, boys.
Rob?
All right, Hannah and Endy, thank you very much. Paul Skeens shines through 7. A home run by O'Neill Cruz, a couple of RBIs. Adam Frazier, a nice day at the plate. He drives one in. Endy drives one in. Skeens gets the victory. Santana picks this up, the save for the Buccos, and the 4-game losing streak ends here in Tampa as the team gets set to head home to PNC Park for the home opener on Friday. For Bob Walk, for Hannah Mears, our entire crew here, I'm Rob King. We're going to send it to Dan Potash, Michael McHenry, and Stephen Brault in our Sportsnet Pittsburgh studios next.